Hey guys, welcome to the woods. Well, I've been out here most of the day and it's been so nice. I don't know why. It's not windy and there's no bugs really. I don't know. I don't know if it's this spot. I don't think so. I've been around here a bit. But anyway, usually I have to have a windy day to not have bugs. So I'm like, oh good, it's windy, but then it makes it tricky for videoing. So anyway, we'll take it. But it's also getting to the end of the day and it's getting dark and I'm noticing a couple of bugs. Mostly gnats right now though. I like gnats because when you have gnats, you don't have mosquitoes. I don't know why. But anyway, that's your lessons. That's your little teachings about being in the woods all day. I know very little, to be honest with you. Do I look prepared for the woods? No. But I like it. The inspirations, the sense of connection, of oneness is so easy to see in nature. And that's what we want to talk about today. Oneness, I don't know, really. I don't feel like I have all the answers, which is really why I want to talk about it. It's like, how do I instill that sense of oneness? Why do I have a sense of oneness and other people maybe don't? I don't even know where. I haven't really done a survey of everybody, where they are in that barometer of a sense of oneness. But I look at humans and I say, man, religions don't feel like they're all one. People don't feel like, races don't feel like they're all one. Political parties don't even feel like they're one. So there seems to be a lot of division. But that's not a judgment, that's an observation. So knowing that everything's happening is perfect, I just have to say, well, I would like to just take some pressure off of people. And with relieving pressure, you can go back to your main purpose, which is to focus on your love for yourself and your oneness and your blossom of who you are. What kind of tree are you? You know, what type of seed did you come in with? What type of, we all came from the God source, from the light of divinity, from, life before we came here, the eternal beings. And we came in with sort of an agenda, not an obligation and not a test, but we have a desire. We have a want, so maybe somebody wants to be an oak tree and someone else wants to be an evergreen or a vine that's going to grow on the oak tree. So the point is, seeds, to an untrained person could just say, oh, those are all seeds. Seeds get water and they get dirt. And it's like, no, it's a little trickier than that. Seeds need all different kinds of magical things to really make it. And obviously we can look at people on earth and we say, well, not everybody seems to have turned into that great oak tree that they were trying to be. So there's something about the process here that not many people really bloom to become some people who are like, man, did they ever bloom. They just really turned into such a giving, loving, they're like the quintessential love vibration. And everything about them is, inspiring to others and all that type of stuff. Mostly we call them saints and, things like that. And obviously Jesus, was instrumental in changing the whole planet, the whole paradigm. But we're not going to get into all those kinds of little details, but let's just go back to say that it's tricky. And we're not all going to, not all seeds, lots of them turn into plants, but not all of them bloom and become the beautiful thing that they are. And so if you feel more comfortable, I like to integrate that you're going to get other tries. You're going to come back as a seed again and you're going to try other things. And other lifetimes we've been, I'm a little bit more of a flower. So next time I want to be more of a tree. Next time I want to be more of a evergreen, and sometimes I want to be an oak. And so you have an inner desire to be a certain plant. So let's just play with that concept, wherever your comfort level is on it. I want us to try to focus on not being so judgmental of what other plants are doing. We're not trying to make a planet full of oak trees. Oak trees are beautiful and great and powerful and healthy for the planet and things like that. But we need all plants. We need the diversity. The planet is screaming diversity is the way to go. But not judgment. You don't go hacking down the plants you don't want. We're not trying to plant all the same type of plant on this planet. So that same thing applies to us. If I'm a seed and I'm trying to become who I want to bloom and become who I came here to be, the highest version of the most loving person that I can imagine. That's what I'm trying to push for. Well, I can't beat myself into it. I can't say, oh, this is what you're doing wrong and this is what you're doing. Just stop doing all these wrong things. That's a lot of wasted energy. And you can't complain about where you are. You got to know that you're in the right spot. You're in the perfect spot. You're living your life just as you're supposed to up to this point. The question is where you're going next. And not out of shame and not out of because I did this wrong and today I'm going to be better at this than I was yesterday. No, you just have to accept that where you are, if you're in a tricky situation, then your choice. You came here to endure a tricky situation. But we all have tricky situations in one way or another, and it's all of our jobs to not look around and label everything else as the culprit of my tricky situation and blame everything else around you for your tricky situation. Now, can you move away from something that's tricky? Yes, you should. If you're in danger or your plant doesn't have potential in its current environment and you can move, then you should. But barring that you're not in an unsafe spot, love where you are and put your nutrients, do what you do as a seed to build your soil and your connection to the God source, your ability to point to the sun if you want to. Your connection to the God source is really your focus. And how do you get that love energy from above to come through you down into your roots and exhibit out through your cells and become the love version that you came here. We all came here for that. I guess we have to kind of own that piece. We all came here not to fix someone else, not to change something else, not to try to avoid breaking a lot of rules. We didn't come for all that stuff. That's not the focus at all. Other people are not your focus, and what you've done wrong are not your focus. What is your focus is, how do I appreciate myself, love myself, and allow the version of me that wants to come out to come out? You got to back off yourself. You got to give yourself a break. You got to give yourself credit. You got to give yourself love. You got to give yourself acceptance. You got to give yourself a loving environment. So to have a loving environment, you got to just love the environment you have. You give love to those who are around you. They give love to you. But it's all of your circumstances, everything. You can't look at other people and say, God, they have it so easy. Of course they're going to be a big flower. I'm so mad at them. You get focused on that, you're sure to turn off that connection to your God source and who you're going to be. And we all know nature pulls out some of the most beautiful plants and natural situations out of the most diverse, difficult environments. And you'd say, well, how did that tree come out of the side of that cliff? But everybody's taking a picture of it. It's just magnificent. So if you're in a tricky spot, that's no reason not to just keep going. Love where you are. Be that tree on the side of a cliff who's saying, you know what, I found a little tiny nook of a crack in the rock. I'm just going to keep putting lots of roots in there. You know, and other people could say, you're hanging off the edge of a cliff. What are you doing? You're wasting your time. Go move somewhere else. Well, I can't. This is where I am. This is what I chose this time. I knew before I came to this earth who I was going to hang out with and what situation I was going to be in. That doesn't mean, again, that if you're in a difficult situation where you're being abused or something, then you need to get up and move. But barring that, love where you are. Love the people that you're with. Love your situation. And that will free up so much bandwidth for you to focus on the true mission here, which is to discover your version of the love flower that you are. And then once you're committed on your own path, whether you're the big flower or not, you're inspiring others. Because it's like, wow, he isn't focusing and grumbling about everything around him. Why is he so happy? Why is he so connected? Because I'm just focused. Not in a do energy, just in a allow, and love myself and my situation. And when you love yourself in your situation, you'd find you're rarely ever in a dangerous situation. People are often abused. They are abusing themselves too, and they just feel like they deserve it, sort of, and they just sit in it and feel comfortable, and other abusive people jump in, and it's a sad situation. So like I said, it doesn't mean that so you may be in a tricky situation. And so I always say this sort of, know you're in a perfect spot with a little bit of, I feel like I have to give a caveat. Make sure you're in a safe, loving spot, but let go of the need to change other people around you and label everything and call things good or bad, or does this fit my paradigm of what my religion says, and other religions are bad and evil. And we're all one. That's the point I really wanted to get across. We're all one, and all religions are talking about, they're speaking to a different culture and a different upbringing and things like that. There's no one that's better than another. They're all saying the same thing anyway. Become that love flower that you are. Go within. All the answers are within. All the answers are your connection to the God source. And the God source connection happens when you're focused on yourself, but focused on yourself in a loving, appreciative, patient, calm, non-condemning way. And that process of slowing down your breath, going within, accepting yourself where you are, accepting everything around you, loving on yourself, feeling and knowing of the oneness of all of us. There's nothing out there that's coming to get me. You can relax. Back to focusing on your breath. Your breath will be so much calmer, your whole body will be calmer and so much stronger and so much more power to be connected and so much more inspired if you can just accept the fact that there is no tiger outside of you coming to get you. There is no danger to this plant. You're going to become who you're going to become if you allow it. That's all you need to do, is allow it. And anyway, I think that's all I want to say about that. So much more you could say about it, and I don't know if I've gotten anybody really inspired about it, but I've had a chance to sort of chew on. I feel my oneness, but I don't really know for sure how to get everybody on that path. But I know it's important. And anyway, so love on yourself. Focus on who you really are and the perfection of how you got to where you are. And appreciate your past and let that go. And know that we're all living in a tricky situation. So we're all doing the best we can. If we could do better, we would. And that applies to everyone around you, but leave them alone and apply it to yourself. If you're finding problems with other people not doing what they should be doing, know that's what you feel about yourself. So every time you're frustrated outside, oh, love on myself. Frustration outside, oh, love on myself. We're all one. We're all doing the best we can. If I could do better, I would have. I'm going to do the best I can tomorrow. That's all I can do. But appreciate where you are now. Love the one you're with. And we'll chat about it again. All right. Love you guys. See ya.